In Houston, first-year coach Don Chaney has also had a better beginning. He also has Akeem Olajuwon. He leads the league in rebounding, in the top 10 in scoring, third in block shots and steals. Miami and Houston next, here on the Superstation.
TBS Sports presents NBA Basketball, America's Game. Tonight's game is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold filtered for real draft taste. It's as real as it gets. By Jeep and Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA. There's a feeling you get only in a Jeep. By Wendy's, the best burgers in the business. And by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another night of NBA basketball on the Superstation. Skip Carey, Rick Barry with you from the brand new Miami Arena. Our first look at this beautiful building. And the Miami Heat and the Houston Rockets will get together in our NBA presentation this evening. Surprisingly, these are two teams that are in the midst of winning streaks. Houston has won 5 in a row. Miami's only won 2, but when you start the year with 17 losses, you take anything you can get. First, this Houston team, not surprising, they're on top of their division. They're a good team with a superstar player.
Well, yes, when you talk about Akeem Olajuwon, you're talking about the premier center in the league. Of course, the addition of Otis Thorpe has made them very formidable on the inside. And if you look at those standings in that Midwest division, you really get an idea of just how tough they are. Very competitive in there. Dallas and Denver have been up at top at different times. So has Utah. It's going to be a very interesting battle with those 4 teams. But even more interesting, with the problems the Lakers are having, if we were to go into the playoffs, you could see that the Houston Rockets would have the best record in the Western Conference, giving them the home court advantage. So it's going to be a very interesting remainder of this NBA season, Skip.
Meanwhile, Rick, for Miami, it's going to be a long road. They know that, and they've gone about it in a rather interesting way, I think.
Well, yes, they have. They have decided to go almost exclusively with young people, especially in the expansion draft. Some people may have criticized them, saying they could have used a little bit more experience. They, of course, have picked up Rory Sparrow lately. He's helped them a great deal. But this is a team that plans on doing it slowly. But they're a very exciting team. The people here have really taken to them. And one thing this team never does, and I think it's a reflection of their coach Ronnie Rothstein, Skip, and that is they do not quit. They hang in there, and they have had several ball games that they could easily have won.
Maybe we'll have a close one tonight. We hope so, and we'll find out shortly. Now back to our studios in Atlanta and our colleague Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, thank you, Skip and Rick. Well, Miami keeps winning. The Lakers keep losing. In case you missed it, the Lakers did lose again last night, this time to the Phoenix Suns. The defending NBA champions have now lost 6 in a row on the road, the first time that has happened since before Magic Johnson arrived. Magic isn't smiling much these days. He was ejected last night for only the second time in his 10-year career. The Lakers have now lost 8 out of 10. Phoenix, with a 111-96 win, is only a game out of first place. Portland can move into a tie with the Lakers with a victory tonight in Sacramento. We'll have highlights and scores of other games around the league at halftime. Stay tuned for the Rockets and the Heat.
Go from the Miami Arena. The two coaches with last-minute instructions for their troops. That's the way Houston will line up. Otis Thorpe, as Rick mentioned, a big addition for them, and Olajuwon is terrific. Mike Woodson also sort of new to the cast of characters in Houston, as is their coach, Don Chaney, who struggled with the Clippers for many years. That record really not fair to him. He's a better coach than that record indicates. Grant Long, Pat Cummings, the rookie in the middle. Cycli is the guy they're counting heavily on for the future, the veteran Rory Sparrow and the youngster Kevin Edwards. And the coach celebrating his 46th birthday today, Ron Ronstein. Our officials, as assigned by the NBA, Jake O'Donnell, Jess Thompson, and Tommy Wood. And we're ready to go. We sincerely hope that you will enjoy the action. From the Miami Arena, our next game, a week from tonight, Boston at New York at 8:05 Eastern Time. We're off in Miami. Sleepy Floyd heads to the front court. Otis Thorpe handles it up top. Both teams won close games last night. Cycli checked Olajuwon. 5 on the shot clock. Buck Johnson nails it, and it's 2-0. Rory Sparrow up the floor. Pat Cummings handles the ball up top. Cycling 19 feet away, thought about it, didn't do it, deflected away, out of bounds, belongs to the Heat with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Rory Sparrow, season's high 28 last night to spark his team to a win against San Antonio. Long will inbound. Cycling back line. Sparrow thought about it, didn't do it. 6 on the timer. Edwards from 16 ties the game. Kevin Edwards with the hoop.
They like him down here, Skip. He's not shooting the ball well field goal percentage-wise, but they like his form. And they just tell him, keep shooting, it'll come.
Rory Sparrow up the floor. Threw it away. Was it deflected? No, it was not. And the ball goes back to Houston. It's a 2-2 game, 10:55 left.
And those are the type of turnovers that have been hurting the Heat a great deal, making errant passes that there really are inexcusable. That was good defense right there, it looked like. I think the other official had a jump ball. Jake O'Donnell looks like he's going to call a foul.
A 2-shot opportunity. Edwards picks it up.
Let's see Mike Woodson coming off the play, goes up to the shot. There you see the defense, and that looks pretty darn good to me. But the angle that Jake had from the other side of the court, it may have looked like he caught the arm. So a break for Mike Woodson and the Rockets.
Woodson puts it down and tries again. 10:48 left first quarter. Rockets lead 3-2. You made a good point before the game. For the Rockets, this is almost like a home game. This building very similar to the Summit.
The same people who built the Summit designed this building, and other than the tunnel going out on a different place on the court, it's very similar and just different color seats.
Cummings up top. Long swings it to Rory Sparrow. Edwards into the lane. On the line. It won't go. Akeem with a rebound.
But Cycli did a good job. He had great position. He just mistimed his jump. Otherwise, he could have had a good offensive rebound. And the Heat is a very good offensive rebounding team.
Sleepy Floyd goes base. Shoots the layup.
Sleepy Floyd for Pop Johnson.
Rockets lead 5-2. 10:15 left. Quarter number 1. Barry and Carey from Miami. Cycli has it stolen away by Woods, and they're on him already here. Lead pass, too tall for Floyd. Not a good idea by Woodson, and the ball goes back to the Heat.
It's also an area of the game that Don Chaney's concerned about his team making bad decisions on their passes and getting turnovers, as you see what Atlanta is doing to the Knicks early in that game.
Surprised it's that big a margin. Although Atlanta's tough at home. Edwards fades away on the dribble. Cycli sets a pick. Now handles the ball on the wing. 5 on the shot clock. Cycli backs in and walks. So far, not much going good for him. And they're on him here already, which is really unfortunate. If you pay your money, you can do whatever you want as long as you don't break the law. But they might be ruining a guy who's got a chance to be a pretty good player.
Oh, I think he'll survive it. It's going to take him a while to learn. They don't give many breaks to the big men.
Olajuwon off-balance jump won't go to Thorpe the rebound. That's something he can do. That won't go, and Thorpe has another. To Floyd, and the layup is good. And it's 7-2 with 9:14 left in the first quarter. And the Heat calls an early timeout. Timeout on the floor with 9:10 left in the first quarter, and the Rockets vaulted to an early 7-2 lead. We'll be back to Miami.
You know, everybody has expectations when you take over a new job, and Ronnie Rothstein was no exception. So before the game, I asked him if things have lived up to his expectations here at Miami.
Well, Rick, they really have. The only surprise was that we lost 17 in a row. We knew it was going to be a difficult year, and we opted to go with the youth and through the building process. And quite frankly, we played well enough to have had at least 3 or 4 wins somewhere during that streak. But basically, it's been everything I thought it would be, and then some to a certain degree. And but it's been interesting. It's been rewarding in many ways. And the most important thing is we feel that we've made progress, and we want to continue to make progress.
That's Ron Rothstein, and we're back to play here. The Heat trailing 7-2 with 9:05 left in the first period. Barry and Carey from the Miami Arena. Edwards works the wing against Woodson. Edwards heads to the hole. Off it comes to Pat Cummings. He gets into the lane, fades, fires, connects. It's 7-4. 6:45 left, first quarter. Sleepy Floyd on the attack. Floyd, 4-2. He misses. Cycling the rebound.
An excellent job of screening Olajuwon off the boards that time by Cycling.
Long has it deflected away and out of bounds. 15 on the shot clock.
You know, Otis Thorpe is listed at 6'11" or 6'10" for the Rockets, and there's no way, because he stands next to Cummings, who's barely 6'9", and Cummings looks like he might even be taller.
Rory Sparrow cross court. Gets it back on the base. Finds Cummings down low. Olajuwon blocked that. Floyd took it out of the air.
And that's what you call great weak side help.
Cycling deflected it out of bounds, and Houston inbounds on the end line. With 8:08 left in the first quarter. 7-4, Houston is our score. Olajuwon goes base, is checked, dishes it out to Woodson. They go back to Olajuwon. Back to Woodson. 2-point try baseline. Rebound coming. Here come the Heat. Sparrow. Edwards down low. Long on the wing to Cummings. 17-footer, yes. He can shoot it if you give him time. It's 7-6.
He has a difficult time getting it on his own, but if he comes off a screen or you drop back, you're going to pay the price more often than not.
Floyd commits an offensive foul. The ball goes back to Miami. And now the Heat can take the lead with 7.5 remaining in the first quarter.
You know, Skip, there was a rumor going around that if the Heat were to continue on that losing streak, that they were going to start calling him the Prickly Heat.
It was a little rough for them, no doubt about it, but Rothstein really... Edwards, Olajuwon blocked his second. Really appreciated the fact his team played hard every night through that mess. Woodson, nice shot. It's 9-6 Houston. 7:07 left, first quarter. Rory Sparrow up the floor. Edwards on the sideline. Into the lane, threw it away. Out of bounds, who gets it? Miami.
11 seconds on the shot clock.
11 seconds on the shot clock. 6:58 left, first quarter. Long looks. Still looks. Cycling with the inbounds pass. Another. Well, no, they're going to give the ball still to Miami. With 6 seconds left on the timer.
The problem with Miami, Skip, is they don't have one player who really is a go-to guy. Somebody you get the ball in his hands, and you know he can get a shot anytime he wants it.
That's right. Nobody averages more than 12, and that's Sparrow. Great pass by Woodson. Sets up Otis Thorpe.
Otis Thorpe, another one of those Greek Adonises who plays the game of basketball with a just incredible physique. Kind of like you in the broadcasting business.
Thank you very little. Rory Sparrow on the dribble up top.
Well, I heard somebody try to harpoon you by the pool today.
It was a little scary, but it worked out. Long goes to the hole and shoots two. The Pearl Washington into the game as Edwards goes out for Miami.
Washington takes into the lineup for the Heat. Houston calls timeout.
Now Houston wants a timeout here with 6:23 remaining in the first quarter. Timeout on the floor. Houston 11, Miami 6, and we'll be back. There's my man, Rick Barry, where it all began at the University of Miami, right around the corner from here.
Yeah, some very fond memories down here, yeah. That's when I had hair.
Well, the natural kind, yeah.
Yes, well, this is now, I have all natural hair, Skip. That was cruel.
Where is it? At least I didn't talk
Just
about
don't have as much as I would like.
Yeah, I understand. I'm getting that way myself. Long to the foul line. And he drills it. 11-7 is the score. He's another kid that's really put together, this Grant Long.
Well, they really like him. He's a little rough along the edges, but they say that he is one of the most coachable young men they've ever experienced. You're talking about both Dave Wall, the assistant coach, and Ronnie Rothstein. They are just delighted with him.
And that's one thing, an expansion team, that's one advantage they have. They can take the time with a kid because there is no pressure to get in the playoffs. Olajuwon. No. Johnson's follow won't go. The Heat can move to within one. Cycle A from Sparrow.
And the Rockets played right into the hands of the Heat there. They took a quick shot that was an ill-advised shot. First they missed a second opportunity, and then they gave the Heat off to the races again.
Cycle into the front court. Good pass. They overpass. And they lose a basket as a result.
Exactly right.
Woodson. Olajuwon. He's fouled as he goes up. Pearl Washington got it, and he'll shoot two.
You're exactly right, Skip. They had the opportunity down the other end of the court. Great situation. We have the 22nd timeout by the Houston Rockets as Don Chaney wants to get his gang a little bit more organized against the trapping defense that they've seen so far. They knew this was going to be coming, and obviously they didn't react quite very well to it when it first appeared.
Well, this is the kind of game that Rothstein likes to play. He's a defensive. His reputation is as a defensive coach, both in Atlanta and Detroit, and he likes to keep that score down low.
Well, you know, the guy credited for doing this is Hubie Brown, coming up with all of his defenses. He really has done a heck of a job in influencing other coaches to come up with these traps and these type of pressure defenses, because it's incredible how inferior some teams and players are in handling pressure.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Rick will be selecting the Miller Lite Player of the Game.
You refuse to read that NI all the time in here.
I like you to feel like you're a big part of this program.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Olajuwon shoots two. Where's Don Johnson? I thought you'd have him here tonight.
Well, he's with Melanie.
That's right. Olajuwon has one more. 5:35 left in the first quarter. The big guy gets one of them, and it's 12-10 Rockets. Sparrow up the floor. Cummings with play instruction. Sleepy Floyd plays Rory Sparrow. Washington up top against Woodson. He almost won. Long goes base. Finds Cummings running one-handed. Cummings with 6 points, and the game is tied at 12. Sparrow knocked that away from Sleepy Floyd. Woodson up top. Olajuwon. Little jump hook. He got it. Over Cycle.
What excellent defense.
4:52 left in the first quarter. You see the score. Washington drew the foul. It'll be on Floyd.
Foul called on Sleepy Floyd, his second, the team's second. Heat ball.
Heat inbounds on the side. Ron Rothstein with play instructions. They have 20 on the shot clock. It's cycled back, of course, after the foul. Frank Johnson about to check into the game for Houston. Sparrow operates up top. Again, they find Cummings, and he walks.
Now, see, this is twice Pat Cummings has done something I would disagree with, Skip. He's caught the ball in a perfect shooting position. He got lucky on a running one-hander prior to that. Why take it into somebody like Hakeem Olajuwon?
Yeah,
you've got a 15, 16 footer. You've got to shoot that ball.
Now, he can shoot it. It's not that he's not a good jump shooter.
I'm very surprised because, of course, he's an experienced player on this team. One of the few.
Heat with 5 turnovers. Ball knocked away out of bounds. Belongs to Houston. 4:16 left first quarter. Frank Johnson with the inbounds pass. Hakeem Olajuwon back to Johnson. Threw up a prayer.
Offensive foul. That was good playing by Long. He's a very alert team defensive player. Another area of the game that the coaches are very pleased with his awareness of what's happening from a team defensive concept. We'll see him again as the cut will come to the right of the screen. Quickly he moves into position. Well established. Excellent defensive play. Good awareness.
And now the Heat can again tie the game. It's 14-12, 3:55. Washington. From the foul line. Got it.
And you should keep running that play because Otis Thorpe is not stepping out on the screen. And if the man whose man is doing the screening does not come out, you can get a jumper all night long.
Olajuwon drew the foul, shoots two. Alan Level, the veteran backliner, will check into the game for Houston. And I'll bet you that as the year goes along, Level will play more and more and more. I've always liked him as a player, and always he's buried on the bench.
Well, let's watch Olajuwon in action. He makes the good, quick spin move. He doesn't really drop his leg to get as good a position as he could have, but when you get the Paratrooper Club members, you very easily can draw the foul, and Olajuwon jumped right into him to pick up the opportunity at the line, and again, he misses a free throw.
Level gets Woodson.
Well, Alan Level is a real interesting story. He was on the team when I was there at Houston, and then they let him go a few years later, and eventually called him back, and he's been with them ever since.
Olajuwon one of the two again now. The Heat basket would give him the lead. It's 15-14 Rockets. Pressure by the Houston team. Long in the front court. Gets help from Rory Sparrow. 10 on the shot clock as they start their offense. Washington goes to the hole. Good pass. Cycling missed, shoots two. Hakeem Olajuwon the foul.
The team's third.
Well, watch again as Pearl Washington has, of course, better quickness than Thorpe. He gets him jumping in the air, is able to penetrate inside, forces Olajuwon to come over and help. That leaves Cycli open, and there's the reach-in foul. And you can see what penetration does. Causes so many problems for the defense, and the good teams will find the open men. And Miami showed some good playing on that particular situation. And again, the key to it was to go to the mismatch. Thorpe out on the court against the guard is not what you want.
John Sunvold and Billy Thompson into the game. Sparrow and Cummings go out.
Well, now if they run that two-man play with Sunvold running the screen, I guarantee you he can bury it. He's one of the better shooters around.
He struggled last night with 1 for 8 in the game, but outside jump shooting is his forte. Cycli missed them both. Frank Johnson up the floor. 15-14 Rockets, 3:12 left first quarter. Hakeem against the double team. Alan Level, an open jump shot. Tipped up and in. Buck Johnson.
Credit the tip in to Buck Johnson.
17-14 Rockets. Second basket for Johnson. He now has 4 rebounds.
The Heat lost by 6 to Houston, and they got killed on the offensive boards there. 30 points the Rockets had got against them on the offensive board.
Sunvold. Yep. Houston by 1 at 17-16. Knocked away by Billy Thompson and out of bounds.
Yeah, the Heat can get away with their small guards in there now. Sunvold and Washington with Frank Johnson and Alan Level in there. There's 4 very small backcourt men. You don't get to see that many small guards playing at one time in the NBA.
Well, not anymore. Frank Johnson. Running one-hander is good.
And the one thing the Heat are allowing to have happen to them here in this game, and it's hurt them 3 different occasions, is allowing the guard to get the penetration all the way to the basket. They're so worried about those big men. Nobody's coming to help out.
Washington operates up top against Frank Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Johnson plays Sunvold now. We enter the 2-minute period. Long with a hook shot. No good. Rebound, Olajuwon. Ahead it comes to Frank Johnson. Johnson against Sunvold. Olajuwon at the foul line. Won't go for it. Rebound. Long out of there with it. Stolen away by Johnson. Restolen by Pearl Washington. 19-16 Houston. Washington. No. Rebound deflects out. Long wheels. Deals. Yes. Make it count. 19-18 with 1:15. The Rockets have the lead and the ball, and an illegal defense is called against Miami. Some more changes will be made here. Tim McCormick will check into the game for, along with Derek Chivas for the Rockets.
You know, you may think it's surprising to see the Heat do that type of job on the offensive boards, but they're second in the league in offensive rebounding. Seattle's number 1.
Chivas will trigger it in. John Shasky is into the game for Miami. Playing the pivot against McCormick. Alan Levo banks it up short as they battle for the rebound. A foul, I think, on McCormick pushing off.
That was the old Louis Carnesecca subway push.
58 seconds left in the quarter. Washington brings it up the floor. Miami can take the lead.
This is the type of scoring they want to have in the quarters. They can keep it like this. They got a chance to win the ball game.
Shasky out of Minnesota shoots the jumper short. Rebound by Otis Thorpe. Frank Johnson with it now. 30 seconds left. Well, you see the time remaining in the quarter. 15 on the shot clock.
I still think they ought to run two-man plays against Otis Thorpe's man. Let Otis Thorpe's man set the screens. If Otis isn't going to come out, let Sunvall run the play. Or Washington.
5 on the shot clock. Chivas comes in firing and missing. Rebound intercepted by Level and intended for Thompson. Now Houston has all the remaining time. They almost throw it away. They got to get something going in a hurry. Thorpe at the buzzer. Got it. Otis Thorpe at the buzzer. Drilled it, and the first quarter is over. Houston has the lead, but Miami has to like the way it's gone to this point. It's the Rockets 21, the Heat 18.
Into the first team, actually maybe MVP couch potato, and just want him to know. You see, check that crowd out, Bob. Sell out here at Miami. Just thought you'd like to know that. I'll be collecting the bet when I see you in New York.
What was the bet all about?
Bob had the audacity to say that there were going to be less than 10,000 people at this game.
It's at least 15.
You know, when it comes to numbers, Bob, you know how he is with numbers.
It's too bad. The Heat on the attack. Sunvall drills it. He already has one more basket than he got last night. He's 2 out of 2. It's 21-20. Chivas lost it out of bounds. There's a look at the first quarter statistics.
The Heat shooting a very outstanding percentage. Keep that up, and the Rockets will have their hands full.
Thompson in the pivot against Chivas. Baseline jump won't go. Rebound Otis Thorpe. Frank Johnson up the floor. He's coming back. Several serious footwork from Thorpe. Lays it up short. Rebound. Sunvall leads a 3-on-2. Off it comes to Gray on a drive. Offensive foul. They'll take it away. Sylvester Gray checked into the game and drew the foul. So the ball goes back to the Rockets.
You see Alan Level anticipate the move, gets his position, and Gray just was not agile enough to sidestep him. Johnson really carried the ball on that move.
McCormick has it stripped away. It's on the deck, and a jump ball is the result. 11:01 remaining in the first half. Craig Sager in our Atlanta studios at halftime will update you on all the other NBA news of the night. The tip is won by the Rockets. Frank Johnson out of the pack with it. His pass intended for Thorpe, knocked away. Washington has it knocked away. Recovered by Thompson. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
They're calling goaltending. The outside official is calling goaltending. And the foul. Well, watch the move again as the bad pass inside, something that's been plaguing the Rockets. The good spin move by Washington. The pass, he lost the handle on it. Billy Thompson goes up. Here comes Thorpe. He's hanging on the rim when he went up to make the block.
That's why they made the call, and that's the only way. It's goaltending. Great replay by our crew here. And Thompson goes to the line for 1, and the Heat has the lead at 22-21.
Basket's good. Now they're saying no foul. Well, the whistle was blown by somebody inside who wasn't calling goaltending. The outside official ran in to try and say what was happening. I mean, there was a foul. I mean, a guy got killed on that play.
Basket counts, no foul charge to Thorpe.
Yeah, Mulligan.
And Olajuwon can't come into the game now, they're saying, because it was a goaltending.
Confusion reigns supreme at the moment, but they've taken the foul away, and there definitely was one. Perhaps after the basket was grabbed. That's the only explanation I can think of. Heat by 1. Rockets with the ball. Frank Johnson in front court. Houston got by the Hornets by 2 last night down in Charlotte. Level from 18 puts it down. And the Rockets take a 1-point lead with 10.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Sundvald over Level. Houston has it again.
John never got set on that shot, Skip. He was drifting badly.
Chivas to Frank Johnson. McCormick asks for it in the pivot. Can't get it. 6 on the shot clock. Allen Level. Johnson baseline jumper, no. Rebound. Thompson, he's inadvertently tripped and goes to the deck. Let's see if he's all right. He's felt better, but he's okay.
Foul's called on Derek Chivas of Houston, his first.
First foul on Chivas. Hakeem Olajuwon checks into the game.
Heat ball. Olajuwon replaces Thorpe for the Rockets.
Otis Thorpe takes a Houston rest with 10 minutes remaining in the first half. 23-22. Houston is our score. A week from tonight, Boston at New York. Traveling on Thompson, and the ball will go back to Houston. Who's doing that one? Is that you and Bob?
Yes.
In the Garden. They'll have more than 10,000 there, too.
I bet they will.
Frank Johnson up the floor. 9:40 left, first half.
I like those sucker bets, though.
You're not going to let him up, are you? Allen Level won't go. A rebound. And here come the Heat. Gray with the rebound, gets it back, lays it in. He can run a little bit. Johnson to the front court. Frank Johnson in and out. Tough break for him. Gray, another rebound. Thompson on the wing. Thompson again, left it short. Rebound, Frank Johnson. Sylvester Gray out of Memphis State. He can really run the floor. Allen Level. Chivas threw up a prayer and got no answer. Great pass, Washington to Gray. The Heat by 3, 26-23. 8:15 in the first half. Olajuwon fakes, drew the foul, shoots 2.
And he should be thrown out of the game for that. He should be thrown out of the game for that.
Jay O'Donnell holds Shasky. Olajuwon got hit in the mouth, he says.
He took a hard foul, Shansky did, and Olajuwon threw a punch, and there was no reason for it. And I remember the game we did when we had the altercation between Robert Parrish
and
Bill Laimbeer, and they threw them both out, and there was nothing compared to that. That was a out-and-out punch in the face by Olajuwon after a hard foul, and there was no cause for that. Watch it again. See, Shasky comes over, and now Olajuwon jumps into him, bodies, he goes up. He tries it, he gets faked out of position, comes across, didn't try to hurt him, he only tried to hold him, and there's the left hand and the punch to the face. Another angle on the play. Up in the air, the paratrooper club, he hits him, and now watch the left. Boom! That, he should be out of the game.
They've called a punching foul on him. Now Olajuwon will shoot his free throws. Then they'll go to the other end, and Shasky will shoot his, and then Miami will have the ball.
Well, I know that they were trying to clean things up, Skip, and if they were going to throw both players out in the other ball game, certainly what Hakeem did here was more deserving of being thrown out of a game.
Rick O'Donnell came by to explain it, and surprisingly enough, we had it right. That's the way it is. So now our score is 26-25.
I guarantee you, he didn't get thrown out of this game, but he will be fine for that.
I would guess that he would. Shasky came prepared. He is wearing a mouthpiece.
Well, he was lucky he had it in that time. But he certainly did not try to hurt Akeem on that. He was faked out of position and tried to make a defensive play, and there was nothing malicious by it. And Akeem has been known in the past to lose his control a little bit.
Heat ball. So it's still Heat 26, Rockets 25. And Miami gets the ball at midcourt with 8:09 left in the half.
From the standpoint of the fans and personally, I mean, I enjoy watching Akeem play, and it'd be terrible to see him out of the game. But when you do those type of things, this is one of the reasons the NBA has been so good in cleaning up a lot of extracurricular activities, because players realize they can't get away with things like that.
Washington against Level, front court. Purvis Short is checked in. They run a play for Shasky, and he slams it home. 28-25, Miami. Olajuwon in the pivot. Against the double team. Allen Level. Again, Olajuwon lays it up and in. 28-27. 7:25 left. Gray out of Memphis State. Off to Shasky. Up top, Sundvold's jumper and a whistle and a foul on Level. A two-shot opportunity for Sundvold.
John Sundvold at the line for two.
Level cops a plea. It'll do him no good, and Sundvold goes to the foul line.
Well, it shows you that, you never can tell what's going to happen in the game, because I remember Boston game, I was saying I didn't think either player deserved to be thrown out.
Yeah.
You agree with me. And this one, I felt the reverse, and that doesn't happen. So
that's why we're over
that's
here.
why we're here, I guess.
7:22 left. Frank Johnson up the floor. Miami has it just the way they want it at this juncture. Chivas finds Purvis Short. Knocked loose. Akeem with it. Jump hook. The rebound. Once again, the Miami Heat.
Gray's doing a great job on the boards.
Sundvold for three.
What a great crowd, Skip.
Timeout, Houston. Listen to this crowd. Right now, it's Miami nice. They lead 33-27. We'll be back.
On Tuesday night NBA, the power struggle in the East explodes. Patrick Ewing in New York challenge Kevin McHale in Boston. 8:05 on the Superstation next Tuesday.
Well, the Miami Heat, with their surprising lead here by 6 with 6:53 to go in the second, they've been able to accomplish it with outstanding plays like this as Pearl Washington throws the alley-oop pass. There goes Gray in behind the defense, lays it in for the easy two.
And we have 6:53 remaining in the first half. Don Chaney not pleased at all with the way his team is playing. Mike Fratello is very pleased with his.
Yeah, the one-way scoreboard showing that the Hawks doing a good job.
Pressure by Miami. They didn't get it over in 10 seconds. The pressure defense of Ron Rothstein pays off. They can build an 8-point lead. They do. 35-27.
Well, Skip, you mentioned he was a much better shooter than the 1 for 8 would indicate from last night's ball game.
He has 11 points now. All from the field. A three-pointer included. Olajuwon, no. And he commits a foul as he grabs the rebound. And you knew they were going to call out just to make sure we didn't have more extracurricular.
And 3 fouls on Akeem. He'll be out of the game as McCormick's coming in.
And this might be the key to the entire game. You never know, but we've got 6:18 left, and we won't see him again in this half, I don't think.
There's the missed shot, and what happened is Shasky did a good job of screening Olajuwon off after the shot, and Olajuwon went over the back, committing the foul. Now we have an offensive foul down the other end as Gray setting a moving screen.
So the ball goes right back to Houston, but they're in a little bit of trouble here. They're down by 8 with 6:09 left in the first half, and they've got Akeem with 3 fouls.
Skip, they've played 18 minutes so far in this game, and they've scored only 27 points.
Miami's bench has outscored Houston's 21-4.
Jump ball.
This Gray came out early out of Memphis State. Boy, he's a good-looking player.
Well, we'll see Gray come over to help out, gets on the ball, and McCormick will go to the jump circle.
McCormick wins the tip to Chivas. Blocked by Shasky. That won't go. Shasky the rebound. Ahead to John Sumbo. Washington for 3. No. Sleepy Floyd and Mike Woodson back in the game. Chivas hangs in the air, still can't get one to drop. Rebound deflects around. Sunvold saves it to Pearl Washington. Sunvold again. He's on fire. He's got 13. It's a 10-point game. The fans here in Miami are going wacko. Purvis short. Foul is called against Washington.
Foul called on Pearl Washington. His second, the team second.
Otis Thorpe back into the game.
One of the fans that tried to keep the ball just finally threw it back down onto the floor.
It's not basement.
No, that's right, folks.
Sunvold has 11 in the quarter, 13 in the game. He has been the spark for.
Well, I said he should have been running 2-man plays, but he hasn't needed them. As we see an interesting spectator, the doctor, Julius Erving. I guess maybe, I don't know, do you still call him doctor since he's retired? I guess we should. He deserves it.
He certainly does. He's down there with Billy Cunningham. Sleepy Floyd drives to the hoop, lays it up and in. And Rory Sparrow up the floor. (37-29). Thompson fumbled it, got it back, and got it. He almost walked. It's 39-29 with 4.5. McCormick. Nice shot fading away on the baseline. 39-31 with 4:20 left in our first half. Rick Barry, Skip Carey with you from the Miami Arena. Rory Sparrow, yes. He had a big night last night.
Well, Skip, you know, they've had a heat wave down here for the last couple of weeks outside, and inside all of a sudden the heat has gone up. They've been playing outstanding ball the last 3 home games.
McCormick. Sunvold with a deflected rebound. Sparrow just made his first basket of the night after the big night 24 hours ago. Sunvold, no, it won't count.
That's Thompson. He just about killed Billy Thompson, who was setting the screen that time. You see Billy holding on to his chest, wondering if it's still there.
And it's bonus time.
It's kind of like Johnson and Johnson. This time it was Thompson and Thompson.
Sunvold gets an ovation as he goes out for a rest. Grant Long returns. Kevin Edwards back in the game.
Billy Thompson goes to the line to shoot too.
I just wonder if he's tired and asked to come out, or if Ronnie made that decision, because certainly when you have a guy as hot as he is, you want to take full advantage of it and let him go until he drops. Or the shots stop falling.
Oh yeah, the shots, either he drops or the shots don't.
Right.
Thompson tries again. 41-31, 3:50 till halftime.
it's an 11-point game. 42-31, 3:50 in the half. Floyd ahead to Buck Johnson, who returns to the scheme of things.
Who also just traveled with the ball and got away with it.
That happens every so often. Thompson left hands it up, no good. Rebound, big battle on the deck. Thorpe, he'll shoot 2.
Now, what Houston is doing is they are not being patient with their offense at all. You don't get back into a ball game by coming down and taking ill-advised shots like that. They were very fortunate that Thorpe was there to get the offensive rebound.
He'll go to the line for 2.
I can guarantee you this is not the way that the Rockets have been playing during this 5-game winning streak, and also to enable them to get to the top of the Midwest Division. In fact, the top record in the Western Conference. They've been playing like this. They'd be down near the bottom.
Thorpe makes them both. Pressure by Houston. Rory Sparrow draws a crowd. They beat the press and cross the line. Sparrow, the open jumper, not this time. Rebound. Yeah. Billy Thompson.
That'll be a delay of game warning. Thompson knocked the ball away after he dunked it.
Delay of game warning, call on the Heat.
Ronnie Rothstein giving the signal he wants a little trap, a little pressure here coming up, try and keep things going in the Heat's favor.
Don Chaney, a very reserved man on the bench, but you know inside he's boiling with the way his team is playing. 2-on-1, Sparrow. Great play. Took it under and scooped it up.
And the Rockets are just falling apart against this pressure by the Heat. Look at where they stopped, in the worst place on the court you can stop. Surprising. But the foul's going to be called. Boy, Skip, when you get up against pressure, you never take the ball over half court and stop I'm near the sideline. I mean, you've got 2 built-in defensive players going against you, the backcourt line and the sideline.
Houston calls timeout, and that's a pretty good idea for them. 2:57 left in the half. The Heat 46. The Rockets 33.
Sir, would you choose hamburger A Wendy's hamburger made with fresh beef, or B, made with beef that's been frozen?
Hamburger B.
Why?
Looks like the chow we had in the Marines.
Was it good?
No, it was terrible, but what memories. Slogging chest deep through the muck, mosquitoes as big as choppers, smell of sulfur in the air, I loved it. Say, were you in the Corps?
No.
I didn't think so.
Most people prefer hamburgers made with fresh beef, like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Well, there's a look at the winner of the Robert Wessler Lookalike Contest. That's the fun-loving mascot here in Miami. He doesn't have a name yet. I've got one for him, but this is family television. Coming up at halftime, the Prudential Halftime Report. Craig Sager is in our Atlanta studios, as we mentioned. He'll have NBA news, scores, and highlights from around the league. Plus, tonight's feature, the history of the hook shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Skip, I got the name. That mascot looks like something that was left over from the last hurricane.
It's not a pretty sight. 46-33. The Heat is leading with 2:57 remaining. Sunvold was on fire while he was in there.
Well, on fire in a conservative sort of way. I mean, 11 points is not any major shakes for one period. We've seen guys get 25 and 23.
But unlike some of the guys at the 25 and 23, every now and then he passed the ball.
That's not nice to say about some of the great players in this league.
I'm not talking about any that are playing now.
Oh. Hakeem Olajuwon is sitting very unhappily there on that bench with 3 personal fouls. The Heat are shooting 63% in the game, 73% for this quarter.
2:50 left in the half. Thompson works against Edward. Otis Thorpe against the double team. Buck Johnson drilled a nice shot against good defense. 46-35, 2:35 remaining. I'm sure Don Chaney just wants to get his troops to the locker room and try to regroup it.
Well, he'd like to get it under 10 points. You can bet on that.
They're still very much in this game. The open jumper. Thompson, a great job, but he can't control the rebound. Otis Thorpe ahead to Sleepy Floyd. Back to Thorpe. Yes.
Otis Thorpe, Sleepy Floyd.
He runs the floor exceptionally well also for a big man. They have a very formidable front line, and both Olajuwon and Thorpe are great at running the court.
They've got it under 10. It's a 9-point game as we enter the 2-minute period.
advised shot at all. Not Thompson up the floor.
See, I disagree with what they've done. They penetrated twice and kicked it out to Long on the perimeter, and he's not a good shooter out there.
The three-point shot won't go, and Rory Sparrow the rebound with 1:40 left. Sparrow, nope. Tim McCormick the rebound.
The problem they have when the guards penetrate now with this lineup, neither one of the forwards are good outside shooters, so that does create a problem when you pitch it out.
Floyd goes left against Sparrow, blocked away by Thompson. Sparrow hits the other way. Billy Thompson having a big quarter. Long goes to the hole. He'll shoot two. Buck Johnson got it.
Fouls called on Buck Johnson of Houston, his second.
Well, defense is doing a lot for this Miami Heat team. They're creating a lot of opportunities for them, or their defense is creating a lot of opportunities for them down the other end of the court, and they're able actually to be beating the Rockets at a part of the game that Ronnie was concerned about. He said, Rick, I don't want to get into an out-and-out running contest with them, and he's been able to dictate the tempo of the game with his defense.
Long goes to the line. His free throw shooting slightly below average, but he drilled that one. It's a 10-point game with 1:16 until the break. Miami by 11. They got off to a terrible start last night against San Antonio, had to rally to win. Tonight they've gotten off to a great start. Buck Johnson gets the hoop. Shasky is arguing about something.
He got hit in the face.
And a 20 is called by Miami to attend to him. With 56 seconds left in the half, it's 48-39. We mentioned the Rockets aren't out of this game, but if they keep playing like this, they're in a lot of trouble, right?
Well, yes, they are, but they at least got it underneath 10 right now, and if they can cut into it a little bit further and get Akeem back in the start of the second half, they can still win this game big.
This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association. So to the entertainment of our audience, any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Since 6:18 remained in the second quarter, Akeem has been on the bench.
You'll see what happened now. They break down the pressure of the defense, and Buck Johnson turns and finds himself wide open. And the defense is late getting there as he takes it home for the easy two. And that's what good passing and alert ball handling can do for you against pressure defense.
12 on the shot clock as Sparrow dribbles around. Edwards into the lane to Shasky, and a whistle and a foul against Houston. Tim McCormick picks it up. His second.
You know, one thing that I don't know how many people remember back that far, but the Houston Rockets were an expansion team back in '67 and '68, Skip, and Seattle was the other team that came in that year, and they tied a record for the worst record for a new team, 15 and 67 in their first year. But because they did have some veterans on that team, they turned it around. That next year, they got the Big E, Elvin Hayes, in the draft, and they went 37 and 45 after that. I don't expect that would happen with the Heat. They have so many young people here that even if they get the #1 pick, it's still going to be a number of years before they turn things around here. But they do play exciting basketball as far as the effort put forth.
I think as long as you show that effort and show progress, you're going to be all right.
Well, people appreciate the fact that they're getting their money's worth when they come to the arena.
Johnson takes a wild shot. It's off the deck, goes out of bounds, and belongs to Miami.
And that's exactly what Don Chaney was talking about prior to the ball game when we were chatting with him, was the impatience on the part of this team and the poor shot selection that they have when they go up against certain ball clubs. And I just don't think that they were ready for this Miami Heat team coming into this game, but they still have a half left to regroup.
Houston is 8 out of 20 in the quarter. You see the time remaining. There's 6 seconds on the shot clock. Edwards maybe a little early. He missed it. Rebound Sleepy Floyd. The layup is good with 1 second left, and that really hurt Miami. Sparrow's shot would not have counted had it gone. We're at halftime. So far, Miami's got things going their own way, but Akeem Olajuwon missed the last 6:18 of the first half. At the break, it's 50-41 Heat. Craig Sager standing by with the history of the hook back in Atlanta.
respect that, and we appreciate their coming by.
They were fine players, and they're more importantly fine people. Edwards up top. Cummings down low, offensive foul. He hooked his way toward the basket. His first, and an inauspicious start for Miami in the third quarter. Woodson and Floyd bring it up the floor. Woodson on the right wing. Up top it comes to Buck Johnson. Hakeem handles the ball. Floyd to Hakeem. He can't buy it. Cummings the rebound. Rory Sparrow the outlet pass. Cummings up top. 18-footer. 119. Johnson the rebound. Ahead to Floyd. He starts a break. Good pass. Olajuwon off the glass.
Hakeem Olajuwon for Floyd.
Floyd the good pass. There have been times when Olajuwon has not been too thrilled with Floyd's efforts at getting him the ball, but he had to be happy with that one.
Yeah, he had a lot of anxious moments last season, but they seem to have gotten everything straightened out. In fact, that was Don Chaney's main goal when he first took over as coach, is to get those two back thinking in the same train of thought.
Cycli kicked it, a new 24-second clock. Rather, Houston kicked it, and Miami inbound. Long will trigger it in. To Cycli. Edwards spins toward the hoop. An ill-advised pass, and Houston's right back in the, or would have been right back in the game. Short can't buy it. Cycli had it, and he's fouled.
That's a big play for the Heat. They're a little bit cold here coming out in this third period. That easy two-point basket would have cut the lead down to 5 within a minute and a half of play here in the second half, and they've got a chance now to knock it back up there to 9 and keep things the way they were at the end of the half.
Cummings up top. Houston guards just 5 of 19 from the field tonight as Sparrow misses. The rebound, Mike Woodson. Ahead to Floyd. He finds Olajuwon again. Off the glass, not this time. Long with another rebound. Rory Sparrow off the floor. Miami having a little trouble getting a hoop. Cycli, tough break for him. Cummings the rebound. He got it. Olajuwon had to be play that a little gingerly. He didn't want to pick up his 4th foul so early in quarter number 3, which has 9:50 left. Woodson the open jump. Yes.
Mike Woodson.
Woodson playing on a very sore right knee. Doesn't seem to be affecting him that much.
52-45. 9:35 left in the third. Cummings. Sparrow. Edwards. A whistle. Score it. His second hoop of the night. Woodson's first foul. Let's look again.
Let's see the play again. A sleepy Floyd turned his head, lost where the man was coming from, as Woodson wasn't able to stop Edwards, and Sleepy is a little late getting in there to help out on the penetration, and that's where good team defense really helps, if you can stop that penetration, create the problems that it causes for your defense.
55-45, a 10-point lead for Miami, but a long way to go. 9:15 third. Buck Johnson bangs one home.
Well, now that one in, but I still think that's one of those ill-advised shots.
They are playing sort of wild and woolly, aren't they? Sparrow. Edwards tries again. No luck this time. Rebound. Edwards gets it back. Long kept it alive. That won't go. Next rebound. Finally Houston. Johnson past Sparrow, who fouled him prior to the shot. I think it will be called prior to the shot. It is, and the ball will go to Houston on the side. First foul on Sparrow. There's the new coach of the Houston team this year, Don Chaney. Woodson.
Mike Woodson from Floyd.
Well, they had one underrated player on this team that they traded away, Rodney McRae, to Sacramento, and I think they have another one. I've always liked the way Mike Woodson plays the game.
Plays very intelligently. Cycli unloads to Edwards, to Sparrow. Nowhere near. Rebound Otis Thorpe. It's 55-49. That's 10 boards for Thorpe. Woodson and a foul, and Houston's on the comeback trail.
And Mike Woodson has been the main perpetrator.
The catalyst, as it were.
We'll see Mike Woodson again take it in as Edwards comes over, and he just knifes his way through. Just does get the shot off before he hits the court. Good body control.
He can move it to a three-point game if he converts the free throw.
3 points away for Mike Woodson.
8:10 left in the third. The Heat wants to talk it over here. 8:09 now remaining in the third quarter. Miami's lead has been shaved to 3 points and will be. Our score here, Houston appears to be on the comeback trail, and they've got a lot of time remaining. And here's a look at the Wendy's NBA scoreboard. Atlanta continues to hold a comfortable lead over New York. Cleveland winning again. Indiana's woes continue.
Yeah, but Milwaukee's been playing well lately. They're always in the ball game. They play such good defense, and another barn burner there with Dallas and San Antonio. But well, I tell you, Dallas has been so strange. They've lost twice as many games at home as they have out on the road. 6 down at home. Lost 6 already there.
It's hard to bend. They had a great home schedule early in the year. Just the opposite, really, of the Lakers. 12 on the shot clock as Sparrow dribbles around up top. And yet another turnover. The Heat haven't gotten out of the shoot well at all.
And who was involved in the play again?
Woodson again.
I'll call that Grant Long of the Heat his first, the team's third.
Third team foul. Woodson inbounds on the side, and now they can move to within a point. Sparrow tried to steal it. The hot man has the ball. Partially blocked. Cycling the rebound. Ahead it comes to Rory Sparrow. Sparrow goes to the hoop. Had to change his shot because of Olajuwon. Thus missed it, but gets it back. Edwards tries to run a play. Cummings with the ball.
I would think that Ronnie might get Sunbull into this game very quickly.
Cummings can't. They don't have anybody really that shoots the ball well up there, with the possible exception of Sparrow. Thorpe can't handle the long pass. Another turnover, and the ball goes back to Miami. And Coach Barry is on target. Here comes Sunbull.
No, I asked him at the halftime break if he has to be taken out. He says, no, I didn't, Rick. He says, hell, the way I was shooting the ball, he said, I don't want to come out.
When you're going good, you never do. Cross court. The big guy off the glass. Ronnie Cycli with the hoop. They needed that. Their lead is 5. Olajuwon. Got it. He's got a very soft touch for a big man. 57-54. Sunbull and Billy Thompson both will check in for Miami. 6:22 left in the third. Good move by Cycli, but he missed it. Here comes Sleepy Floyd. On a drive and a foul. Nice move by Floyd. Edwards out of the game as Sunbull enters.
Here we see the sneak inside to pull that ball away, and the part of Sleepy Floyd is he brings it down the court against the defensive pressure and just waltzes on in there, draws the foul.
Meanwhile, as play continues, Ron Rothstein down on the bench talking to some of his kids because this is a learning experience. It's really sort of different than other NBA teams.
That was just a terrible pass on the part of Ron Cycli.
And he hears the Boo Birds again. 5:55 left in the third. Olajuwon is fouled by Cycli. 5:53 left, and just like that, the Rockets can take the lead at the foul line.
Well, Miami did have 50 points at the end of the first half. They've only managed to come up with 7 here in the first 6 minutes and 7 seconds of the third quarter, and that's not going to help your cause any up against a good basketball team as the Houston Rockets are.
Well, that's why their record is so bad. They really have an awful time scoring points. Alonzo in 1 for 2. Cycling the rebound. Rockets lead at 58-57, and we have 5:45 left in the third. Rick Barry, Skip Carey with you from the Miami Arena. Capacity crowd on hand. Coming. Sunball, does he still have the magic? A 2-point hoop. 15 for Sunball. Thorpe finds Floyd. Olajuwon. Short. Sunball has a rebound. It's been his night to this point. Cummings the open good. Thompson pushed off to get the rebound.
That was one of those fouls that after you pushed the man, you realize, why did I do that? Because the ball was bouncing long and I had to rebound anyway.
2 fouls, and it's bonus time with 5:03 left in the third. So the Rockets go to the foul line.
Buck Johnson at the line, shooting 1 plus the penalty.
Ron Chaney said that Buck Johnson has been playing very well for them. Here's a young man who struggled in the early years of his career and hung in there, kept working at his game, and now he's a starter on a very good basketball team.
That, I think, in any sport is the hardest thing to do. When do you give up on a guy who you thought had great talent? You have to ask yourself, am I sticking with him because I don't want to admit I was wrong, or is there something there that hasn't come out yet?
Then you're afraid to give him up, hoping for fear that he'll go someplace else and do well.
You were right in the first place. 60-59 Houston. Cycling didn't react to the pass. He does to this one and lays it in. 4:40 left. 61-60 Miami.
Miami needs to come up with some of that good defense that came up in the first half right now.
Olajuwon partially blocked, I think, by Cycling. Billy Thompson. Cummings can't control it. Johnson comes away with the ball. Floyd. Offensive foul. Sparrow drew it.
Offensive foul called on Sleepy Floyd. His third.
Well, both teams making bad decisions. We'll see the second one, which was Sleepy Floyd coming in as Sparrow was moving. I'll tell you what, Rory Sparrow was moving on that play. Sleepy Floyd was totally committed to the drive, and Sparrow was still moving. That should have been a block. Here he is. He's still moving. You see him shuffle his feet a little bit to get the better position. It should have been a block.
Olajuwon leaves the game. He's had an off night. Just 4 of 13 from the field. Sunball played well by Woodson that time. Thompson against Johnson. 10 on the shot clock. Cycling. Back to Thompson. On the move. Off the rim. Rebound. Tim McCormick who just checked in. Heat by 1. Otis Thorpe hangs in the air. He missed. He'll shoot 2. Pat Cummings the foul. John Shasky will check into the game after the first free throw, and he'll probably get some play. Pearl Washington will return to the lineup as well. Washington gets Sparrow. Shasky gets Eckler.
Otis Thorpe for 1.
Houston by a point with 3:45 left in the third. Cummings from the foul line, yes. We're on a seesaw here. Now the Heat by 1. And timeout is called by Houston with 3:23 left in the third period. You see the score. We'll be back to the Miami Arena right after this. Premiering January 7th on CBS Sports, U.S. Olympic gold Amateur boxing featuring Korea and the USA, their first event since the Olympics in Seoul. That's beginning January 7th at 6:05 Eastern, only on Superstation CBS. Here at 63-62 Miami, 3:23 left in the third. But the Rockets have the ball. They seek their 6th straight win. To the deck go Cummings and Thorpe.
Heat foul called on Pat Cummings.
The foul was on Cummings.
Penalty.
That was a takedown.
Otis Thorpe on the line, shooting 1 plus the penalty.
Thorpe shoots 2. We are knotted at 63. There's Sunvold again. He's been Johnny on the spot tonight.
Well, he's only gotten 1 shot off since he's come back into the game, and that's in large part due to the great defense Woodson's been putting on him.
Floyd comes away with the ball after that wild melee. Johnson, boy, he can sky. The Rockets take the lead by 2. 2:50 left in the third.
Not a bad jumper either.
Gets it. Washington. Cummings almost got it back, but there's the ever-present Mike Woodson. Floyd, yes. A 2-point basket, and it's 67-63. Quite a turnaround in the third. Houston by 4. Floyd knocked that loose. Shasky comes out of there with it, gets a big hoop. McCormick is spending a lot of time on the hardwood tonight. He's been belted around this evening. 2-minute period is upon us.
2 minutes.
Thorpe, 18-footer, got it.
Otis Thorpe from Slicky Floyd.
Houston really heating up here. They lead by 4, 69-65. Sunvold, good again.
Yeah, but you notice McCormick at least came out and he forced Sunvold to have to make an individual move to get away from him, whereas Thorpe has not been coming out at all when they set that little screen with Thorpe's man.
It's an amazing game. Sunvold 1 for 8 last night. Red hot tonight. 90 seconds left. Third quarter. Good move by Floyd, the former Georgetown star.
Well, Stevie looking to be a little more offensive minded with Akeem on the bench. Doesn't have to worry about passing it to Akeem.
Washington finds Sunvold. Partially blocked. Good job by Woodson. He's done a whale of a job. Floyd has the field beat. Easy layup.
Floyd from Otis Thorpe.
73-67. 22nd timeout is called by Miami. Ron Rothstein not at all happy with the way his team is playing at this moment, and Houston's amazing how much better you look when you can make your jump shots, isn't it?
Well, yes, but it's also amazing how much better your team looks when you play a little better defense. The one thing I've been surprised about here is that I have not seen the Heat come out and put the type of pressure that they put on when they were able to get that spurt and kind of get their game going for them. As a result, the Rockets have been able to get back in it. You will watch Mike Woodson. Well, Mike, this is the end of the play after he already had made the steal. There's a long baseball pass by Otis Thorpe to the streaking Sleepy Floyd for the easy 2 points, but that play was set up with the defensive Woodson, who did a great job fighting over a screen to stay with his man, and then was able to come away with the block using his superior height against John Sunvold. But again, Skip, I have not seen the Heat play the type of defense with the enthusiasm, the aggressiveness, creating so many problems for the Rockets in the first half. The Rockets haven't had to contend with it.
Our next NBA action on the Superstation a week from tonight at 8:05, Madison Square Garden. Bob Neal and Rick Barry will be there as Boston and the Knicks get together. 8:05 a week from tonight. Sunvold checked by Woodson again. Gray back in the game. Pearl Washington thinks about it. Now he does it. He got it.
Talk about getting some easy hoops in the first half. The Heat got a lot of them with their defense because they haven't put the defense on. They have no fast break points in this quarter. 7 for the Rockets.
73-69. A three-point hoop for Floyd. He has suddenly come to life. 76-69. You see the time remaining. 12-point quarter for Sleepy Floyd. 12 on the shot clock. Sunvold missed one. Rebound. There's Floyd again. He and Woodson have been the stars of his period. And it's Woodson missing. Washington spins by Floyd. 2 seconds. 1 second. Stewart with 1 second left. The quarter is over. At the end of 3, Houston has turned it around a little bit, but it's anybody's game. We go to the final 12 minutes of regulation. The Rockets lead the Heat 76-71. Well, thank you all, too. We'd love to come back, and it is a nice place to visit. But it's been a little nicer lately for Houston. They've taken a 5-point lead with 12 minutes left.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if the Heat come out and try to put a little more defensive pressure on. Of course, they did that little spurt in the second period in the first half. So maybe Ronnie's saving it for the fourth quarter here in the second half. They certainly need to do something with their defense to get themselves some easy baskets. You can see with the Rockets shooting only 45%, not all that great, but the Heat's percentage down to 50% after they had shot 56% in the first half. So they had a very subpar performance offensively there in that third period. And Ronnie Cycli looking over things, the first round draft pick of the Heat.
And here we go, the final 12 minutes at least of regulation. And pressure is applied. You're having a good night. Well, you're home.
Get lucky once in a while.
But you had a lot of good nights in this one.
Not in this building. This building wasn't even in anybody's imagination then.
It's a beauty, as is the one in Charlotte. Gray thinks about it. Floyd is on the deck. Washington misses, and a whistle and a foul.
McCormick pushed off. But I want to tell you, Billy Thompson set a screen on Sleepy Floyd that just drove him right to the hardwood.
It'll be a loose ball foul, I think. Now they get some perspiration off the deck here. The ball boy wins the good housekeeping seal. Skip Ellison, our director tonight. Glenn Diamond is our producer and interpreter. Sunvold, front court.
A big difference here in controlling Sunvold has been that Don Chaney stayed with Woodson on him. Woodson was not on him when he had that hot streak in the second period.
Washington misses again. He took a couple of good shots. Somebody's going to have to shoot the ball, but he couldn't buy one. Floyd has been hot. Johnson hangs in the air, but misses. Rebound, Thompson. Sunvold checks the floor as he dribbles to the front court. Sylvester Gray gets the hoop. The Heat still hanging around, but down by 5. Don Chaney with play instruction. Buck Johnson turns and drills it. From Sleepy Floyd. 80-73 our score, 10:15 left. 9 assists for Floyd on night. Sunvold beats Woodson. Yes. 19 for Sunvold. Floyd with play instruction. And away from the ball, a whistle. I think a foul on Sylvester Gray.
Foul is called on Sylvester Gray. The Heat is third.
That's his third. Floyd with the inbounds pass. They go to Johnson, and a travel is called. Miami gets it back. Ron Rothstein with play instruction. Washington crosses the line. 9:42 left in regulation. Sunbull. Sylvester Gray. The Pearl has it blocked away. Goes out of bounds. The Heat still has it.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
5 on the shot clock. Here comes Akeem with 9.5 left. And the reception he receives is not a warm one. He and Shasky got involved in an incident early in the game. Shasky turns, jumps, misses. Akeem the rebound. Sleepy Floyd fumbled it away. Sunbull out of there to the Pearl. And a foul.
Foul's called on Sleepy Floyd.
It's on Floyd. His fourth.
Team
second team foul.
There we see Sleepy coming down the court. We're going to see the reach in and the knock away on the part of Pearl Washington, and Sleepy just grabbed on, made a nice tackle on Sunbull there. That's a good play for a defensive back.
A frustration foul. But if it had been a defensive back, they would have reviewed it for 15 minutes, made no call, and inbounds pass to Shasky. Sunbull fumbles it away. It's on the deck. Thompson goes for it. Still on the deck. And a jump. No jump ball. Akeem got it out of there. Floyd 1-on-2. The trailer is Woodson. Rebound out of bounds. They give it to Miami. They should have gotten it after the steps anyway, right?
This is true. There's been some serious traveling going on here that the players have gotten away with.
Maybe they think they're on one of those Carnival cruise ships and it's hard to keep your feet.
That might be it. It's one of the owners is big in that business.
Very big. Thompson shoots 2. 8:33 left.
You can see why the Heat have some problems with the number of points that they score lowest in the NBA, which means that their defense has to be outstanding to have an opportunity to win.
And 2, they're in the Western Conference, which
they're traveling.
Billy Thompson at the line for the Heat, shooting 2.
That will change as expansion.
Well, they move into another division next year in Charlotte. They kind of switch them around for a few years until everybody settles in, and with the addition of the Timberwolves and the Magic next year in Orlando.
Sparrow comes in, sunballed up.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, those two teams I just mentioned up in Minneapolis, the Timberwolves and the Orlando Magic, if they can do anywhere near as well as these two teams have done as far as fan acceptance, it'll be fantastic in the NBA next season in those cities. You could do all the games in Minneapolis.
And you'll take Orlando. That's the way it works. Minneapolis, a good time. Gets a little brisk up there in the wintertime. 8:30 left. Woodson fumbled it away. McCormick goes after it. Olajuwon hits the deck. What's going on here? Buck Johnson throws it away. This is not a pretty sight at the moment. Sylvester Gray. And now Pearl Washington up the floor. Gray. They're within a point. Ron Rothstein with defensive instructions. They go to their trap. And a timeout is called. A 20 is called by Houston. 7:56 left.
The only thing you got to question is why did they wait so long to do this? They were so successful in the second period. Why didn't they come out and do it in the third period as well? When they had that lead, jump on them right away. Don't give them a chance to get back in the ball game. As it was, they didn't come up with it until after they had to scratch back from losing a 9-point lead and trailing by 6 or 7 points. So maybe a little bit too late. You don't know.
The only answer I can give you, and not knowing, we're not with these teams every day, but I know they played a very tough game last night, had to come from behind and win it. And he may feel that his team just can't do it long enough. And maybe he chose to. keep it close until the final quarter and then turn them loose with the trap? Who knows?
Well, I don't know, and I'm not talking about these plays that you're seeing here, but I think they're rather self-explanatory as to how sloppy things are there.
That will not be on the highlight film. The crowd is back into it here, big time.
And that's the mascot, kind of blown in with the last hurricane. Looks like he picked up a little debris along the way.
Who invents those things?
But it's been fun for the fans again here.
Another close game, as Steve and I had the other day in Charlotte. The Hornets won that one. You haven't seen their mascot, Hugo Hornet. He's a good man.
I've seen pictures of him.
You'll like him a lot. Woodson shoots two. Sparrow got it.
Well, again, using the height advantage inside, sending Woodson inside at 6'5" against the 6'2" Sparrow.
Mike Woodson in the line for two.
Woodson to the line for two.
Of course, 6'2" is tall for a Sparrow.
The words of Rick Barry, folks. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, you were the one that said Miami nice in the first half, didn't you?
Well, they were leading. They aren't now. They trail 81-79.
Big free throws from Mike Woodson.
82-79 Houston. They're 17 of 21 from the foul line by the Rockets. Gray goes base, almost won. Shasky goes to the hoop, misses. Gray missed the follow, got the next and a foul.
Well, you can see the determination on the part of this Heat team. One of the reasons why they're number 2 in the league in offensive rebounding. They have some young, aggressive players out there. There's the good move on the penetration by Shasky. Didn't have very good control, but look at Gray. Almost got the jam on the follow, but he's right there to throw it in, draw the foul, and a chance to tie this ball game with 7:31 left.
And he does that very thing.
Remember that first half, Gray was instrumental in helping this team get that lead in the second period with his great rebounding.
They're going to the trap again.
He shuffled his pivot foot again that time.
They just did get over the 10-second line. Foul against the Heat.
Well, both teams with 3 team fouls.
Pat Cummings about to return to the Miami lineup.
A little experience in the lineup. Probably get Shasky out now.
For the Heat, Pat Cummings replaces John Shasky.
Shasky plays hard. He's not blessed with great physical skills, but for a little skinny guy, he's not afraid to bang around in there. Olajuwon, an 18-foot turnaround.
Ronnie Cycli's been booed and done a few things not too good out there, but I think he played pretty darn good defense against Olajuwon. He didn't let him get to the basket all that easily, and was in his face a few times. Surprised he's not in there, but he has not been playing well lately.
Gray dishes it off. Washington slipped. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sparrow, yes. We're tied at 84 with 6:40 left. Chivas and a foul. And Derek Chivas will go to the line for 2. Timeout is called here by Miami with 6:33 left in regulation. The game is tied at 84. We'll be back to Miami right after these words.
That's what you have to do to stop this team.
Oh, that was a great play.
Lambert, sensational play. Forecourt Isaiah. Bounce pass to Sally. He threw an alley-oop off a bounce pass.
Rebound is off the minifield. There goes Mullen. The pass is long. Great wraparound bounce pass. Score.
Jackson with the ball.
Jim. NBA action is fantastic.
And a look here at the Honda leader.
Wendy, if you direct your attention to the scoreboard.
Hakeem third in the league in that department. Ron Harper at Cleveland, boss. He's having some year. He's a good
Cleveland team. They've really, everybody expected them to do well. But I don't think anyone expected them to do anywhere near as well as they have been doing.
And they were bombing people out there for a while. Good team.
Big nets again. Some round of applause for the mascot, Wendy.
6:33 remaining here. Not in the game at any time tonight is Scott Hastings of the Miami team, but he is very big in this town. He's got his own newspaper column. Also a interest in a lounge restaurant in Atlanta with Craig Sager called Johnson Jill's. That's known in the trade as a plug, folks. And Chivas goes to the foul line.
But Scott's also, I've been watching him on the sideline doing a little coaching when Cycli would come to the sideline during a timeout, or Shasky, he would be talking to him, trying to impart a little bit of the knowledge that he's picked up over the years, which I think is admirable.
He'll either be a coach or a comedian when his career is over. He's a funny kid.
Well, maybe he can take over for Frank Layden someday. Do both.
Good point. Gray tried to force it wasn't there, and Sleepy Floyd heads the other way.
Well, it's the time of the ball game that the turnovers seem to be even more costly.
Chivas wants it in the middle, but I don't know why. It was quadruple team. Olajuwon, a big steal, but he missed. Chivas has another chance. He missed. Olajuwon missed. Sparrow out of the pack with the ball. Washington saves the pass. Gray comes up with it. Banged it off the back rim.
Well, the one glaring weakness I can see about this team is they have no shooting forwards.
Johnson from 20 feet. You're right. Boy, it's tough to win in this league if you can't shoot a jump shot. 88-84. You see the time remaining. They could use a hoop here. Billy Thompson from 14. Tough break for him. Cummings. No. The ball goes to Houston. .15 left. Houston can build a 6-point lead with a hoop here. Miami's got to get a basket here. They have only 34 points in the second half of this game. Sparrow from 17. Nope. Otis Thorpe with yet another rebound.
Okay, this is the time I think I'd want to have Sunvall in the game, because he doesn't have Woodson in the game, and maybe he can get some time with Woodson on the bench, and he was getting any shot he wanted, it seemed, without Woodson guarding him.
Floyd, the two, didn't get any. Rebound, Thompson. Pearl Washington with it. Gray, offensive foul.
See, one of the things about this game, Skip, is that as a player, you have to try to maintain control. And once you start running out of control, not only will you pick up fouls like that, but you're not going to shoot the ball as effectively. It's a game of quickness, but it's a game of control.
And neither one of these teams has shown a whole lot of discipline or control tonight. Chivas against that trap. Floyd, they're down to 8 on the shot clock already. 4:12 left in our game and a whistle.
Cummings foul, and Olajuwon tried to get the position inside.
4 on Cummings, and it's bonus time for Houston.
Olajuwon line, shooting one plus the penalty.
Olajuwon shoots 2. He has just 2 in the quarter. 89-84 with 4:13. Both. It's a 6-point game. Here comes Rory Sparrow. Somebody needs to make a jump shot for Miami into that end. Ron Rothstein calls timeout with 4:09 remaining in regulation. And the Rockets have pulled to a 6-point advantage. Is brought to you by the new Polaroid Impulse camera. If you're ready for really incredible pictures, Rick, go with your Impulse.
Well, yes, snap it right there. I mean, what better shot can you ask for with the Impulse camera? Everybody has their own individual free throw style. Derek Chivas with his. And I'll tell you what, that's got to be tough playing outdoors in the summertime with the bugs out.
4:09 left.
I wonder where his Band-Aid is tonight.
He's got one on his finger.
We talk about scoring in the first half. You can see what's taking place there as the Miami Heat have cooled off. That's why they trail by 6. Also, the breaks. They led 13-19 fast break points the first half. They have gotten none.
Sun roll for 3. Boy, and they just let him have the shot. I can't believe it.
Well, they got him back in the game, and Woodson's not in the game. I won't be surprised to see him come.
You're going good, baby. 90-87, 3:45. Olajuwon is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 as Woodson checks in to play Sunvol.
Well, I think what you have to do is you have to credit Don Chaney for realizing what he needed to do defensively to try and put a little hold on Sunvol.
Now it's Houston that calls timeout with 3:47 left. Olajuwon will be at the line for 2 when we return. His team leads the Heat by 3. Don't forget our next NBA action on the Superstation a week from tonight. The Celtics and Knicks. Bob Neal, Rick Barry will have it for you at 8:05. And then next Friday night, January 6th, Atlanta will play at Detroit at 8:05. Steve Jones. Steve Jones will join me for that one. Well, the Hawks had their fourth quarter collapse again, but they weathered the storm.
They were actually trailing by a point. Very late in that one.
The Knicks a big comeback, but they fell short. Atlanta goes to 13-2 at home.
Yeah, but put that one up in the column. That you have way higher percentage of teams that battle from adversity, come back, scratch, claw, just don't quite make it.
But I know Atlanta's concerned about it because it happens to them all the time. They get big leads and then in the fourth quarter go flat. It's a 4-point game here, but they'd rather be concerned about it after a win than after a loss. 92-87. Buck Johnson.
I was just shook my head, and you picked up on it. I couldn't believe Buck Johnson was in so early. It was incredible.
Before the ball was left the hands of the shooter. 92-87. Sparrow, a big basket.
Sunvol has lost his shoe. His left shoe has come undone. He's trying to get it back on.
This is no time to go to one knee and tie it. Sparrow against Floyd. He gets across the line. It's a 3-point game with 3:18. Woodson. Sunvold is checked. Down low. A good shot by Thorpe with heavy traffic. He got bumped around a little bit too. Now Sunvold is trying to get his shoe on, and his team attacks 4 on 5. At the other end of the floor, he's lacing up the shoe. Now he comes charging up the court. 2:50 remaining. It's 94-89. Sparrow gets it back. 1 on the shot clock. Cummings couldn't get it away. The 24 expired. Ball goes back to Houston.
And those are the type of plays that this team has been making all season long, and it's one of the reasons why they've lost a lot of ball games. The inability to be able to get a good shot in a situation that calls for a smart play, and that time was 2 veterans who made a mistake.
Floyd with a terrible pass. Olajuwon couldn't see who gets it. Yeah, Miami will get it. Or will they? Yes. Ron Rothstein with play instructions. Don Chaney stoic on the other bench. You see the time remaining. It's 94-89. Sunvol is checked, double teams. Finds Cummings from 14 feet unmolested. He missed it. Sleepy Floyd up the floor. We are in the 2-minute period. Now they can play the clock a little bit. Houston can. Floyd in and out. Olajuwon, the rebound, yes. A big offensive rebound there. It's a 7-point game with 1:45. Timeout called by Miami with 1:43 left. And the Rockets in pretty good shape. A 7-point lead with 1:43 is good, but normally you wouldn't say it was that good. But as much trouble as this team has scoring,
It's a little bigger.
Well, yes, certainly is. And they know that the one three-point shooter they have is John Sundvold. They'll be all over him. And it's just one of those situations that has cropped up so often for this Miami Heat team. They play hard, they play aggressively, a lot of determination, but they're just not able to sustain things. They seem to always have a very big low offensively, mainly because they just don't have the personnel to be able to carry it off offensively. As we pointed out, you look at that bench, go down that roster, you can't tell me that there is a really outstanding shooter and scorer in the front line of this basketball team.
They don't have a good one-on-one player, do they?
No, they don't have the guy to go to, a man who you want the ball in his hands, who's going to get you 20 points every night, who not only can knock the shots in, but will make the play to dish it off to someone else. They don't have that. Sparrow's had some great games lately, and that's helped them to be able to win a few ball games, but he's not the type of player who's going to do that night after night for you. And they just don't have the personnel necessary to win a lot of basketball games, and you're seeing a great indication of it here tonight. But to get back and not to beat this point to death, Skip, and to second-guess Ronnie, is why they didn't play a little bit more aggressively defensively when they started this second half to try and build up an even bigger lead. If indeed the reasoning for it was what you had pointed out, that the guys played tough last night, they might have been a little tired, he wanted to hold back and see what happened. If that indeed was the case, it certainly cost them in this game.
I thought it was interesting what Billy Cunningham said to you at halftime about Ron Rothstein, and said what we want him to do is not get so wrapped up. Obviously you want to win every time you go out there, that's why you play the game, but he said improvement by the young players, that's what we have to gauge. Of course, Billy's an owner and Rothstein's a coach. That's a little different. The Omega Man is next, as you see, with Charlton Heston. Sparrow's been averaging 20 in his last 6 games. He's been held at 8 tonight. Sunball wants to shoot a three-pointer, and they're not going to let him. Yes, they will let him, and he makes. I can't believe they let him get a shot away, but they did. 96-92. They still need 2 possessions, and they have to stop.
No fouls right now, though. They got to just play good defense. There's plenty of time. The worst thing that can happen now would be for the Heat to foul.
Whoa. Sparrow almost stole it. 5 on the shot clock. Woodson. Good look down low, and Thornton shot the layup. 98-92. Here comes Sparrow. Sunville. Offensive foul will be called.
Sleepy foul got killed again on the screen. This time they were able to get the culprit.
Third foul on Long, and that really hurts the Miami team. Whoa, Floyd dropped it out of bounds. He just flat out dropped the ball out of bounds. What a break for Miami. 59 seconds left.
Still plenty of time to do something.
Sunville from 20, not this time. Rebound though, Pearl Washington.
Kick it out.
Knocked away, and a foul. It'll be on Buck Johnson. It comes with 46 seconds left. Bonus time.
I see what Sunville should have done the one time that he was able to get that little small penetration. He had a pass to the basket, but because of his size and his lack of great quickness, he didn't elect to take that, and that would have been a good move. Just go right in, get the easy 2 points, come back and play some good defense.
Maybe the three-point play. 98-92, timeout called here. 46 seconds left in this one to check what else is happening. Let's go to Atlanta and Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, thank you, Skip. We'll show you how the New York Knicks were able to fight back from that 16-point deficit to take the Atlanta Hawks to the buzzer in Atlanta. First of all, Patrick Ewing has a shot blocked nicely by Moses Malone. Watch the pass to Dominique Wilkins. He slams it through. Wilkins had 28 points on the night, but Mark Jackson hitting from three-point range. The Knicks 6 out of 12 from outside the line. And the Knicks had the lead 122-120. But the Hawks come back. Theus underneath to Dominique Wilkins, who has great position, puts it up, and he was fouled. The foul by Oakley. The Hawks take the lead, and they hold on to win 128-126. Reggie Theus, the leading scorer, with 30 for the Hawks. Cleveland on the road in Chicago. Cleveland, the best record in the league, 19-5. Should they win this game, and it looks like they will. Mark Price with a jumper from outside. And Cleveland on top on the road, 87-79. Indiana loses on the road again. They're 0-13 away from home. Boston playing at Denver. Denver without Fat Lever. Doug Moe checking out his new Christmas tie. Meanwhile, Walter Davis, the great new addition to the Nuggets with a spinning move. And Denver's on top of Boston 42-34. San Antonio trails Dallas in the fourth quarter. 3 other games later tonight. But now for the final of our game, let's go back to Skip Gary, Rick Barry in Miami.
Okay, Craig, thank you very much. 46 seconds left here. The Rockets lead it 98-92. You know, the same thing is true about Charlotte the other night. I don't know if you saw the game that Steve and I did. But you write down on a piece of paper how much, either go by salaries of the 2 teams involved in the game or just on paper which is better. And what teams like Charlotte and Miami show you is if you play with determination, you can make up for a lot. I mean, they don't belong on the same floor with the Houston Rockets, to be blunt about it, but they're still in the game with 46 seconds left.
That's exactly right. If you just come out and give it everything that you've got, and especially work on the defensive end of the court, that's where I think the Heat were able to get their lead. Their defense created so much of their offense. They got some easy hoops. And Skip, you know, that free throw really hurts their cause. As a player, if you get a couple of easy hoops, the ball goes in the basket, all of a sudden the more difficult shots become easier for you.
You think it's your night. That's right. Long 1 of 2 from the foul line against pressure. Woodson. Back it comes to Sophie Floyd.
Again, they cannot foul. Try to come up with a good steal.
For Olajuwon, he missed, but he got it back and a whistle.
Well, they were very lucky there. There was no reason to make that pass. Just use the clock. And it almost went out of bounds and backfired. With 35 to go, the Heat could have had the ball. They go down, score a hoop or a three-pointer, and all of a sudden, it's still anybody's ball game. That was not a very wise decision on the part of what is supposed to be an experienced ball club.
Olajuwon shoots 2. Don Chaney seeking his 6th in a row. He makes this one. Even 2 3-point baskets wouldn't be enough. Now it would be enough. Timeout called by the Heat with 34 seconds left. It's 99-93, and there's still a flicker of hope.
And why? Because of the three-point play, which I think has been a great boom to the game of basketball, because it changes all of the coaching strategies that existed before. It gives the team an opportunity, trailing by 6 points, to get back into the game. Unfortunately for the Heat, it's going to take a minor miracle, because they only have the one player who could shoot the three-pointer, unless, of course, the Rockets do the same thing they did before and let Sunvol get himself wide open. I mean, he's 3 for 3 for 3 points tonight, and top in the NBA in that department, 13 of 20 for the season at 65%. So you don't want him shooting the ball. And as you pointed out earlier, when he made that one to make it a little interesting about 30 seconds ago, we both sat here in shock. Couldn't believe that somebody wasn't up on him and force him inside that three-point area.
Yeah, you'd think and I'm sure that's what Houston wants to do, and what Don Chaney is talking about, make somebody else make it. We are convinced about Sunvold. He leads the league, and he's perfect tonight. Don't forget, next Tuesday, a week from tonight, Boston and New York. Bob and Rick will be there at 8:05 on CBS. And then a week from this Friday, I think the date is January 6th, we'll have Atlanta and Detroit. And a look at the new building in Detroit. Again, an 8:05 game. Steve Jones and I will be there. I guess we should point out that one of the limited partners in this team is the fine singer
Julio Iglesias.
Julio Iglesias. Yeah. Didn't see him here tonight, did you?
No, I haven't. He's probably out making money someplace.
If he'd have been here, you'd have been trying to convince him that you should be part of a duet with him.
No.
34 seconds left. Just kidding.
No, I would. I try a lot of different things. That happens not to be one of them.
Thompson will inbound. They need a 3, and Washington to Sunvolt. They let him shoot it, and he didn't miss by much. Buck Johnson, the rebound. He's on the deck. So is the ball. And a jump ball is going to be called.
Now,
25 seconds.
I guess that's because they consider the shins a part of the body, because that's where he had the ball. He certainly didn't have his hand on it.
Well, I would agree with him that the shin is part of the body.
Well, I'm talking about as far as calling as you can jump ball. Normally, you say it's a tie-up when the person or the player grabs the ball, not as part of the. The shin is a little bit strange. I don't think I've ever seen that call before.
The old shin ball trick.
That's it.
Johnson and Thompson.
But you're right. The shin. It was the last time I checked. It was part of the body. That's true.
I don't think biology was your major when you went to school here, Dave. Tip won by Thorpe and a whistle and a foul. And they walk to the other end. The folks head for home in Miami as they put our names up in lights for a moment. We thank them for that.
Of course, you notice they waited until most everybody had left the building.
And I don't blame them one bit. Thorpe will shoot two with 24 seconds left. Our thanks to our graphics folks, Laurie Burns and Al Greenland from the Superstation. It's a 7-point game. And that just about seals it.
The free throws for the Storm.
Sparrow up the floor, 101-93, 4-3, got none. Rebound by Johnson. Sleepy Floyd gets across the line. Washington tried to foul him. They wouldn't call it. Thorpe down under. Has it blocked away. No goaltender. Olajuwon with a block. And that is that. 6 straight for Houston. They've played much better, but all you know is that the game is over and you got the win, and that's all that counts. Rockets 101, Heat 9.